So we are working on new tools and features that help customer transition to the new risk-free rate. So one big concern is for people who have, especially like think about corporate treasurers, they have book of existing swaps or loans on LIBOR. Yeah. So what we want to offer is that scenario analysis report into our risk management app called Marvel, that where they can evaluate the impact of discounting, pricing with the new curves versus what they were doing with the LIBOR, because there is a financial impact to that. So that would be the form of a report that they can then share with their auditors, for instance, or with their counterparty on the red sales desks. The other thing we are working on is working with the central banks. So typically here in London, we've met with Bank of England, and they issued a recommendation to release a realized compounded rate calculator. So we are working on this. That will help calculate the cash flows on a given tenor, so standard tenors, but also on inputting your own start date and end date and calculate your realized compounded rate on that period. So for instance, to check what would be the cash flow you would pay on SONIA instead of paying it on LIBOR on a given period, forward period. So that's the tools we are working on. There are plenty of others we have in mind, especially when the data is coming, like swaptions, adapting our swaption calculator to price swaptions on new risk-free rates, same for caps floors, FRAs, loans. Everywhere we have a LIBOR exposure as an indexed benchmark or a curve, that will get replaced by the new curves and a new set of data that Dave is working on.
There's obviously a lot happening in the market data space. We continue to onboard new content as it becomes available, whether it's from the exchanges, so futures and options and the new risk-free rates, or continuing to work with interdealer brokers or with various sources to onboard new derivatives or new benchmarks themselves if and when they become available. In the reference data space, we're also doing a lot of work. I mentioned LIBOR fallback language, which is sort of becoming a key theme or a key topic and a challenge to actually identify that. We're introducing new fields into our data models and into our products, such as Datascope, that will make it easier to identify that fallback language and to be able to look across inventories to actually see what's within a fallback language, say, for example, within a prospectus. And in addition to that, there's new fields being introduced to actually capture the transition of bonds, for example, as and when they happen. So a bond can transition from LIBOR to a new risk-free rate, such as SONIA, which goes through a corporate action or a consent solicitation process. And we're introducing new fields into our products and our data models that will actually enable us to correctly capture that information and provide more detail to customers to actually understand how that flows through.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Alex and Vince, for your insights. And thanks, everyone, for watching us today. Please do look up at the Icon IBOR app for more information.